Hello, HTG. This is Dr. Esther, one of the admins at Ask the Gynecologist. So today, it's World Breastfeeding Week. So all over the world, breastfeeding is being promoted for a whole week. And we also in HTG knowing the benefit of breastfeeding. So we're also joining, the whole world in preaching, in talking about it, and then in this particular section I want to teach other mothers how to establish lactation. Is it possible to do it with twin? We talk about exclusive. Is it possible to do that with twin? And then what are some of the things that are involved? What are the challenges? What do I look out for? How do I increase my supply? So all of this I'm going to be talking about in this lecture today. So as you join in, as usual, settle in and let me know you can hear me, if you can see me, if you can hear me, if there's something I need to do better. So thank you very much. Thanks for joining me. And I'll wait for more people. Please say something as you join in. Thank you. So in the presentation, I'll be taking a few questions. I'll try to be brief as possible so I can entertain questions. But so I'm going to implore that you hold on your questions to the end of the presentation, so I'll be able to see and answer your question. Thank you very much. I'll be waiting for more people to join in. And thank you, Titi Lola is saying, well done, ma'am. God bless you. God bless you too. So I'll be waiting for some more people to join in. Sandra says, go ahead, Doc. I can hear you. Thank you so much. So I just wait for a good number of people to join in. When we're about 100, that's usually my benchmark, then we'll start. I appreciate you joining in. I appreciate you trying to learn. Trying to learn from me. It's something I do not take lightly. The fact that you think we have something to offer is something, what I appreciate. And so thank you very much, Habas, for joining. Joy Nancy is there. Bumia Biri is there. Real Lady K is here too. So I can clearly hear you. Thank you so much. So Nanny Gift says I can hear you more. So thank you for joining me, everyone. So today you have questions. You're going to be able to ask your question at the end of the presentation. What are some of the things you have heard? What are some of the things that is being recommended to you? Maybe you had a child before. Some things that were suggested to you to use to boost your supply. Is it safe? Do you think you want to have a confirmation? I'll be taking questions after now. So good. I have over 100 people watching now. So, and this is a good point to start. So thank you very much. Today I want to talk about breastfeeding, lactation. How do you establish it? How do you boost your supply? Yesterday and the day after, I've been talking about in the group, I've been posting about the benefit of breastfeeding, the benefit of nursing your child. The benefit cannot be overemphasized. Some people say it is overrated. It's just free. You can say that, but at the same time, that doesn't take away the fact that are behind it. Science is not subject to your feeling or what you feel. It's about what has been proven. So it has been proven that breastfeeding, the breast milk given to your child, it has a lot of benefit, both to you as the mother and to the child. One of the very good things that has been really established is that women who breastfeed does not mean, you have to take note of some of the terms that is being used. Does not mean automatically this thing will do this. But women who breastfeed, for them, it has been found that it kind of reduces their risk of breast cancer. It reduces the risk. Does not mean it cancels it out. It means they are never going to have it. No, nobody's saying that. Women who exclusively breastfeed and also go on to breastfeed. So it's not just enough. A lot of people will just say, I nursed my baby for 6 months. That's so good. You did exclusive for 6 months, but 6 months is not enough. You just don't stop at 6 months and then that's it. It is advised the World Health Organization, WHO, encourages mothers to exclusively breastfeed babies for the first 6 months of life. And exclusive means just breast milk. No water, no pap, nothing else. Nothing except what is given by the doctor. Maybe the pediatrician, you're asked to give vitamin D, or maybe your child is not taking enough, you're giving some vitamins to give to the child, except that. But nothing else. You just don't go and pick. Some moms are going to tell you that automatically when you have your child, start giving them Abidec, start giving all of this. No, your child does not need any of those. There may be a need for your child to get vitamin D. Your doctor may give you the drop, especially babies that are on breast milk, on breast milk and not formula that has been supplemented. They may have they may have some reduction in vitamin D. And you know babies don't come out. We don't bring babies out in the sun for them to get vitamin D. Their skin making it, and their liver is also still developing. So babies that are being breastfed, they may have low vitamin D. So you may be asked by your doctor to supplement. I don't know what happened now. I don't know if you can still hear me. Okay, so that is not, except you're being given by your doctor, nothing else. You give your child nothing, just breast milk. And it is important, I want to mention this in case I forget while I'm talking in places of establishing lactation. It is important that every part of breast milk has its own function. It has different function. So it is important that your child takes the opportunity, the benefit of every milk the baby is getting, every of the nutrients that your body provides. There's such a thing as called the fore milk and the hind milk, for your child. Normally, a lot of people would say, so you mean a child will not take water for 6 months? If it were to be you, an adult, will you not feel thirsty? Babies don't feel thirsty. Nobody is asking you that, because breast milk is almost water. Breast milk is almost 80-90% water. So your baby is taking water. Your breast milk, of course, if you see that it's watery. It is made up of water. So your baby does not need extra water. So let that settle it. Your baby is not thirsty. Give them breast milk. Now the reason why I want to talk about the different part of milk, of the breast milk, is because there is a fore milk, there is a hind milk. The fore milk is usually when you're breastfeeding your child. If you express it out, if you're able to see it in the bottle, the milk that first comes out when your child starts sucking, when child starts sucking and then you start feeling that letdown, the milk that comes out is very watery, like very, very watery. That's why a lot of people will feel like, what is this thing? This thing looks so watery. It looks like, I don't think the baby is getting enough. The first part is watery. You know what? That one is purely, almost 90-something% water. Your baby needs to quench their thirst. That is going to take care of their thirst. That is going to take care of it. So if you're now talking about, and then one of the things that now also contains the fore milk, it is rich in water and in antibodies. Immunity. It provides immunity for your body, for your baby. When your baby takes that fore milk, it is loaded with stuff that are great for their body. Babies who are breastfed, exclusively breastfed, and has been nursed for longer, it has been found that they have lower incidence of gastrointestinal diseases. That's like diarrhea, issues that have to do with infection in their nose, in the respiratory tract, in the GI tract, gastrointestinal tract. They've had reduction. They have reduced incidence of allergy. Now, hear me. Reduced doesn't mean they're never going to have it. I definitely know, you all know that babies stool. And a lot of people want to tie it. When people want to tie, babies stooling all the time, people will believe, when babies begin to erupt, or when teeth begins to come out, baby must stool. There is no such thing. There is no such thing. Teething does not cause baby to stool. I know there are going to be people that are going to argue that. Teething does not make baby stool. It may make baby drool saliva from their mouth. It may make some of them run a few tiny little fever. Not like hot. Babies don't. You can, up until now, you couldn't have convinced my mom that does not happen, because she gave birth to 6 of us. She took care of us. She has taken care of other children. She believes that when babies teeth, they must fall sick. They are going to stool. They are going to poop. They are going to have all of those. She believes that. She wasn't telling me, are you not going to give them drugs because they're going to start teething? I'm like, oh no, don't worry. My babies are not going to stool. And thank God she was there with me to experience when they started teething. And they did not stool. It was after it's gone, I told her, what do you think? They did not stool. A lot of things happen about the same time when babies begin to have their teeth. When they are cutting their teeth, at about 6 months mark, 5-6 months, baby begin to cut their teeth. That falls around the same time people begin to introduce food to the child. Poor food handling. Sometimes a lot of us don't wash our hands. I don't want to say thank God for COVID-19. It has actually opened the eyes of people somehow to wash more. People don't wash hands. You just want to take care of your child. You just quickly rub anything, and then you just quickly start preparing. Your food as an open, you feed it to your child. Anybody from anywhere coming from the market, bringing all sort of staph aureus, bringing all sort of E. coli on their hand. The person that just ring their nose and their mouth, and they just did this to their ears, they can pick your baby. They can prepare the food. They get the germs from all of these sources. They get germs from all the sources, and the babies can stool. The babies are going to stool. That is where the stooling comes from. Also, about the same time, when babies begin to cut their teeth, they almost about start to crawl. Your baby begins to explore around. Your baby begins to pick things from the floor. When babies begin to pick poop, some of them can eat poop, goat poop, cow poop, whatever they find on the floor, they pick anything. Their hands are also on the floor. They are beginning to touch the floor, and they're beginning to touch germs and everything. And anything baby touches, their hands come to their mouth. They pull in germs, they take germs in, so they stool. These are the things that occur why babies stool at about the same time that they are beginning to have their teeth. But most people like to tie it on teething. Oh, it's because the baby, oh, your baby is sick. It's because of teeth, don't worry. No, teething does not cause that. So you can see that a lot of these things happen at about that time, and people do that. What you're supposed to do as a parent when your child is beginning to approach and is beginning to crawl, some of these things is that you're supposed to clean more often. Clean more often. Not like you have to clean all the time. Your baby wants to come on the floor. Clean. It has also been found that women that are, or parents, people that are so obsessed with cleaning, over cleaning, the babies may have, they can have issues with allergy because they don't get to come in contact with bacteria at all. Their body does not build immunity. I mean, a little bacteria here and there does not kill, but not like you have not cleaned your house in a week and your baby is crawling around, just touching everything, and the baby is eating it. Your baby can pick up food of 10 days. The baby can pick them up from the corners of your house. They can eat it. You also don't even take care of it. You just clean your hand. Sometimes you're coming from the market, you pick up your child. Sometimes you're coming from somewhere, you don't wash your hands, you quickly go. Because your baby is crying, you want to quickly make their food. You forgot to wash your hands. You quickly wash, and then you prepare food for your baby with your staph aureus in your hands. You prepare the pap for your baby or whatever. Your baby starts stooling, food poisoning, and then you tie it, said it's teething, or the baby wants to get taller, or the baby wants to something, and we go on. These are the causes of stooling in babies. It is not because they are teething. It is not because, breastfeeding. Another popular thing that occurs with women that they want to talk about exclusive, they will say, when you exclusively breastfeed your baby and you don't quickly give them food, your baby is not going to eat other food. Your baby is not going to eat food. Your baby is going to reject food, and the baby will start leaning. The truth about it is, whether you feed your child, you exclusively nurse or not, a picky eater will always be a picky eater. Your baby, sometimes some of them are not going to, some are just naturally picky. They don't want to, they are not interested in the food you're eating. It's going to take persistence. It's going to take you exploring so many options. It's going to take you looking for what your child wants. I know my first child was a picky eater. It took a while before she took any food. But with the twin, no, they are not. Immediately you begin to give them stuff, they begin to explore, they begin to take it. Babies differ. So the fact that a child, someone said, I didn't do exclusive for a child. That one ate food very well. But this one I did exclusive for now. 1 year, the child is not taking food. Your child is just a picky eater. It has nothing to do with exclusive. And because they are used to, breast milk, it is soothing to babies. It is nourishing to them. They take comfort in that. So they're going to stick with what they know. I mean, they are so uncertain of what you are giving them. Sometimes they just don't like it. It takes persistence. It takes you flavoring it. It takes you doing so much stuff. Sometimes they need to see you eating it. Sometimes you have to dance before you give them food. I know. I have to, and I have them. When you want to feed them, it's all sort of drama. Sometimes you have to eat yourself out of the food and then give to one, the one that you think is willing to take, feed that one so that this one will see that this one is eating, so that it too will consider eating. And this one that is eating may turn out not to eat again. And then this one will be the one to turn up for encouragement and encourage the one that was eating before, and all sorts of drama. So you don't just tie these things to breastfeeding. Now I'm going to be talking about the main bulk of the old teaching. I'll be going to how do you establish lactation. Not every woman will be able to, in that sense, produce milk immediately after delivery. With my first child, I mean, I was almost lactating. I mean, every time before I deliver, sometimes I even see my breast milk coming out when I so it was easy. I was able to just move in. There was some sore nipples, the latching problems and all of that. But I didn't have issues with supply, And it is normal when you give birth to, when the child is giving birth to, it is normal to an extent that babies, after being delivered, their birth weight, they will lose some degree. They will have some great weight loss, up to about 10%. That's what is really given. So if your child is like, 3.2 kg when you're born, or they were 3.5, it's still okay for the child to lose 10% of that. So the child actually may lose, the child may now end up, the child that was 3.5 may now be 3.25, 2 months, this exclusive is not working. Look, my baby that was chubby is beginning to go lean. I mean, calm down. Your baby begins to pick up with the first week. Your baby may have some degree of weight loss. And then by day 7 to day 10, babies begin to pick up weight. And from there, you expect a continuous rise in weight gain. So the first few days of delivery, it is expected. It is okay to have that. It is okay to have some weight loss in the baby because the child is also trying to now adjust. And then one of the things is that breastfeeding is work. Your baby is working. So that's one of the things. That is why some people will say that babies that are probably on exclusive, they may not be as chubby as babies on formula. Because a baby that is sucking is also exercising his mouth. It is work. You try doing like this. Keep doing that. You do that for 20 minutes and know what it looks like. They're exercising their mouth muscles. So usually that is one of the reasons why some people, if they have premature babies, their baby is preterm, they may be asked not to breastfeed, for their baby to nurse, because the baby is so small. Their weight is usually small, and in fact, you need them to conserve their energy. So they may ask you not to nurse them because you don't want them to lose weight. We don't want them to work. We just want them to gain weight. So you may be asked to actually express breast milk and feed it to them instead. You don't want them to stress and work. So that is one of the things that breastfeeding does. In that sense, your baby kind of is exercising. As a baby, they already learned exercising. As they're eating, they're also working. Like I said, you have to hold on with your question. If you ask a question now, I will not be able to answer. I want to have an uninterrupted flow with our having the presentation. So your baby, they may have that, So I'll be going to how do you establish? That's the point. First, people must understand one thing. I want to talk to mothers. When I first put a post up yesterday, is it possible to nurse twin? All sort of negative vibes from a lot of people, and when you're someone that you're determined to do something, you don't want to listen to people like that. A lot of people will tell you for where she's going to collapse. A lot of people said for what, even with one, possible. All sorts of vibes. When you listen to people like that, believe me, exclusive breastfeeding will not be possible. Or you listen to people that tell you, what is it? See, exclusive breastfeeding is overhyped. The truth is, there are benefits. If you're not lactating, when I had to do exclusive breastfeeding with my child, with my babies, like I said, with these two, when I needed my breast milk the most, I wasn't lactating when I had my twin. I had to work for it. So I had to tell people it's not easy. Like, if you want to do exclusive, it's not going to be an easy road. It's not like it's that easy, especially if you have multiple. But it is worth it. If you want to do it, if you're determined to do it, you can do it. And it is not a sin. If you don't go through, if you don't pull through, probably you had to, you just couldn't stand it. If you can't stand the heat in the kitchen, it's okay to get out. But that does not mean you undermine the work or the effort some people put into it. That would be wrong. Some people like, this thing is overrated. What is it with this exclusive? It has been proven by science. So the fact that you weren't successful with it does not demean it. Does not reduce the fact that it works. Science has proven it. It is the best form of food you can give to your child. It helps regulate a child. A child that is on exclusive breastfeeding, child that is on breast milk, they rarely get obese because, breast milk is cut down to their size. It is something they want. Your body gets to know what your baby particularly needs. So it is necessary. When you put your baby to breast, in fact, it is not enough for you to just breastfeed, express milk and give it to your child. It is believed that bringing your child to actually nurse on your breast is superior to them all. So it is okay if a lot of people, you have to resume work. I had to do that. My baby. So if you had to resume work, it means you have to express. Your body, you get to, produce from the immunity, from the antibodies you have in your body. We'll call them IgA, immunoglobulin A. This IgA is very important dealing with epithelium, in the GI, in the respiratory. So it helps babies that are being breastfed. They have lower incidence of otitis media, ear infection, lower incidence of upper respiratory tract or lower respiratory tract infection. They have lower incidence of gastroenteritis, that's infection in their bowel, in the gastrointestinal tract. Because of this IgA we're talking about, and IgA is being passed through breast milk. So you have some degree of breast milk you pass to your child. Once the child leaves the mom, you don't get IgG. There's another immunoglobulin, part of immunity that you pass to your child that is called IgG. You don't pass that through breast milk. You used to pass that through your placenta to the child. So usually, your child can get some covering. Some of your IgG that you pass to your child through your placenta is helping your child. It will help them, until they are 9 to 12 months. That's usually sometimes when you start giving some kind of vaccines. The reason why we don't give some vaccine. Some people are just like, why did they have to space all this vaccine like this? Why don't you just give baby vaccine at the same time? No, there's some vaccine you won't give, because if you give that child that vaccine, it's not going to work, because some of the IG, the immunoglobulins, the antibody that you, the mom, pass to the child, it will counter that vaccine if you give, because they are still in your baby's body. But when these antibodies, they begin to wane, that is when you vaccinate the child, so that your baby can build up their own antibody. So you don't give IgG, but continuously, as long as you keep breastfeeding your child, you keep passing antibodies from yourself to your child. Some of the battles is like this. Some of the battles you have won growing up, some of the antibodies you have developed, you have developed, you keep passing it to your child. Say, I don't want you to have to go through this suffering. Okay, take this soldier. I have some of these reserve soldiers. You're producing them and you're giving to your baby in breast milk. So that is one of the advantages of continuous. It's not enough to just stop at 6 months. Go on and nurse. As long as you and your baby, you're fine. Some people will say, when you keep nursing a child, you are nursing, your baby will start sucking blood. Your breast will never produce blood, as no matter how long you keep nursing. Even if you're nursing your child at 5 years, the breast milk is not meant to produce blood. If there's blood in your breast, there's something wrong. You need to go and see a doctor immediately. And it has nothing to do with your child sucking it. Breast milk will never turn to blood. Your baby can never suck your blood. It is not true. It is not true. So that settles that you're giving your babies the antibodies that is needed. I've highlighted the benefits, so I'm not going to be going through that again. First thing first, that made me divert to all of that is that make up your mind you want to do it. Do you want to really do it? Do you want to? And it's going to be very good if you have people that are going to encourage you. If you have your husband, let your husband talk you. Let him encourage you. There are days you just want to stop. I can't do all this while I can't. I'm tired. You will need support. You need people to support you. But if you're those that have friends that believe it is not possible, people that keep talking to you that is not possible, you likely will not be able to pull through. Another thing that you must know with breastfeeding is that there is a window of opportunity. There is a window. And what I mean by that window is whenever you don't take advantage of that window, it becomes more difficult establishing or boosting up, revving up your supply. And I'm going to explain now. When at delivery, once the child is out, and you're asking a very beautiful question, Mary Queen, but unfortunately I can't answer because you're asking at the wrong time. You have to wait to the end of the presentation. Now, if the placenta, immediately the baby is born, that is an event. Then we're going to wait for placenta to detach. You want your placenta to get expelled. Once the placenta detaches, there is a cut. There is a sharp drop. The placenta is the one that is producing estrogen, progesterone, all of these relaxins, all these pregnancy hormones. The placenta, that's the guy. That's the one doing it. Now, immediately the placenta detaches away from your body, there is a drop in those hormones. There's a drop in your progesterone. There's a drop in your estrogen. These hormones, they have actually been the one curbing the hand of prolactin. So you have not been producing breast milk. You have not been producing milk. But immediately there's a sharp drop in them, in progesterone, in your estrogen. Prolactin now begins to rise. She begins to feel like, oh yeah, I can function now. And then there's also a release of, as your womb also begins to contract, there's a release of this hormone that is called the happy hormone. That's the oxytocin. This also occurs whenever your placenta shears off or whenever the baby or there's a stimulation on the breast. So these two hormones, oxytocin, prolactin, they are very important in establishing lactation. And these hormones, they rise, they are their peak after your placenta detaches. So you need that window, the very first 2 weeks after your delivery, first 2-3 weeks, that is the window of opportunity. You need that time to establish that lactation. And those are the crazy times. They are really, really crazy. Believe me, I've been there. There are crazy times, aside the fact that your hormones are going gaga, your body, you're so weak, you're trying to, nurse and nurse. You're just living to nurse and nurse. If you're someone that has cesarean delivery, you're dealing with pain too. And everything going on. Those weeks are crazy, but that is your window of opportunity to take advantage of. Because these are when the hormones are high, and you can take advantage of that and place a demand on your body to boost your supply. So how do you go about that? One of the ways that is proven is that get your child to be on you, skin to skin, as early as possible. Whether you have cesarean section or you have vaginal delivery, doesn't matter. Discuss with your nurses. This is what I plan to do with Exclusive. I want to actually nurse my babies as soon as I can. I mean, can you bring my child close to me? I cannot. Even if you can, if your baby is not, if you're not able to put your baby to breast, let your child skin to skin, skin to skin. You don't have any clothes on, your upper body, no clothes on, and your baby also. Just put a diaper on the baby, so your skin and the skin of your baby is touching. Then you cannot probably use a wrapper to cover both of you so that your baby is not cold. The skin to skin. It believes there's a thing it does in you. That affection, it begins to release oxytocin in you. The affection and the bonding you have with your child, it begins to increase your chances of lactation. Then more than that, it's also good. It's also good for your baby. Your baby will begin to get the warmth from your body. That's also like kangaroo care. If you know preterms baby, we encourage them to do skin to skin. No cloth, chest to chest with an adult, especially their dad or their mom. They begin to hear your heart sound. Their body begins to, they begin to synchronize their heartbeat with yours. They begin to regulate their body temperature. So those kind of baby really go cold, skin to skin. It's very good. It bonds. It makes you bond with your baby, and that's one of the advantages that has been noticed with babies that are being nursed, exclusively breastfed. There's a bond of connection between mother and child. Every time you put your baby to breast, there's a release of oxytocin. It is a bounding, is that hormone of love that binds. That also occurs after sex. Usually, male and female. One of the things why you believe, you see people coming back. Even you can see sometimes people that have been abused, they can go back to their abusers after sex. It's because this oxytocin is being found to be an hormone. They call it an hormone of love and an affection hormone. Usually, if there's orgasm, when there's orgasm, there is a release of oxytocin. Your womb is going to contract. That hormone causes you to bond with whoever it's causing it. So whenever you're having your child sucking on it, there's a bond that occurs between the both of you. That's what is also being propounded that women who are exclusively breastfeed too, they have a lower risk of postpartum depression. If at all anything is happening, they rarely take it out on their baby because of that oxytocin. Is an hormone that binds. So, like I said, skin to skin is very important. Let it bind. Let your baby chest to chest. Put your baby to breast. Every time your baby wants to, your baby is sleeping, let the baby, as long as you are not sleepy, because don't go and sleep and put your baby on your chest and baby rolls off, and then you just try to adjust and your baby falls off the bed. No, you're awake. You can let your baby sleep on your chest. Skin to skin. It helps increase your chance at increasing lactation. Then another thing I'm going to say is put your baby to breast as soon as possible. I just explained to you, once your placenta is out, there is now a leeway for prolactin to go up, oxytocin to start roaming around. They are wanting like, okay, what do we want to do here? Okay, what's going on here? You start placing demand on them. Guys, I need you to start producing milk. And that is done when your baby nurses, when your baby put their mouth on your nipple and begin to suck. When they begin to suck, they are sending triggers, they are sending signal to your brain. Bring milk, bring milk, bring milk, bring milk. I need milk. Put your baby to breast. The breast pumping machine in this world, the breast pumping machine in this world, is your baby. Don't count on because you have a double-breasted electric pump, then you want to use that to supplement your baby. No, they can never. Aside the fact that much more than the benefit like I've pronounced now, that works on your brain, what your baby does to your body, and your babies, their suck is they are like suckers. They are sucking their own suction is more than whatever. If your pumping machine does about the same, you may feel some pain. They suck, and theirs is the best. So put your baby to breast. Now, a lot of people now say, but the breast, no, they bring milk. You just say I should put baby to breast. What should I do? There is a way around it. You put the baby to breast. Let the baby nurse. Let the baby suck on it. Let the baby suck and suck and suck and suck. Now, it's going to come to a time when the baby begins to get frustrated. Madam, there's nothing in this breast you're asking me to suck. What is all this nonsense? The baby will begin to cry. If in that instance you are not having nothing is coming out, you are pressing your breast, you think that nothing is coming out. Indeed, this baby is not nursing. You're listening, because usually if your baby is gulping, you hear. It's just like when you're swallowing water. Your baby, you're going to hear their sound. You can't hear your baby having those, so you know your baby is not getting. When the baby begins to flare up, you can give formula. Yes, I said it. Formula. Don't let the baby die. I mean, you can't say it must be. I mean, I'm not giving formula. But you know what I say to that about people? Don't buy formula except until the time you need it. That's another mistake people make. They will say, my mother told me that I should get formula in case I need it. Don't do that. You're already giving yourself a soft landing. You're already telling myself, I cannot keep myself. And once you start doing that, when you know there is an alternative to fall back on, there's a likelihood you're not going to push yourself. So if your child keeps sucking and nothing is coming in, you can now give the baby formula. But before so this brings me to the point that you must always let your baby's nurse before giving formula. That's a mistake a lot of people do. You give your baby formula. Once a child is full, the next thing they want to do is what? Sleep. So the baby will not suck on your breast, but you need this baby to suck and suck and suck and suck. So put the baby to breast. Now, another thing that is being propounded, like some ask you to hold on with the formula. Don't feed the baby formula from bottle, because that's another thing that is being feared, that when you introduce a bottle to a child early, because bottle provides them milk like more than breast milk, your baby will likely to would not like better life. I mean, anytime I take this bottle, I get more in shorter time. But anytime I go to this woman's breast, this is how I'll have to be doing and something tiny will be coming out. I mean, let's fashion this breast and let me just stick with this bottle. That's why how your baby is going to take it. When you give bottle, it's easier for them. Little work done and they're getting more. They likely will want your bottle and refuse your nipple. So that's why some are advocating, don't give bottle. Let bottle be the last. Some will tell you can either give them spoon, let them also suck, or another is called finger feeding. You feed them finger, then you supplement with, there are tubes you use in feeding babies. When you put them in the breast milk or the formula you want to give the child, as a child, your finger is serving as though it's your nipple. Once you put your finger in the baby's mouth, your baby will start sucking as though it's your breast. When your baby is doing that, you can now introduce, that straw. It looks like a straw, the supplemental, the nursing supplemental straw. Your baby begins to suck out the formula out of it. So your baby is still sucking at the same time, now getting formula somewhere where that you are given. So this still keeps your child sucking and sucking. A lot of people say this is a lot of work. Like I said, it is not easy. But if you're determined to do it, you can do it. But another way, if you have to give bottle, because that is easier. That's the truth, reality. Most people will fall back on the bottle. Get appropriate tip. If your child is still small, get them, it can be the preemie tip, it can be the size 1, get them the lowest, so that they are not used to easy life of getting milk at no cost. So they just they want to get used to it. Let the drip be small, like the breast, so that they don't get to desert your breast and then go for bottle. So like I said, your baby is the best pumping machine in the world. Put baby to breast all the time. Every time your baby wants to suck, put them to that breast. First, before giving them formula, in case you're not making anything at all, because in some cases, like I said, I did give my babies formula. For the first 1 and 2 weeks, like about the second week before my milk came in, I gave them formula. I mean, my babies are alive today. I'm not going to watch my baby die because it just has to be exclusive. No. This breast milk is not, if you have donor breast milk, there's donor breast milk. When babies were in the hospital, I asked that they be given donor breast milk. But when I was discharged, there's no milk. So I used formula. So please, don't just wait that, as though I said formula is a taboo. No, this is an invention. It's being made to come close to breast milk. But no matter how close it is, it's never going to get antibody. It doesn't have antibody that you are giving to your child. A lot contains probiotic, can be a lot of that. But then it still does not take the place of the breast milk. So that's why I said, if every of this is doing, let your child have formula. Let them do, because you don't want your child going lean until your baby disappears and becomes hypoglycemic and you need to be admitted. But you need to see your child. Don't let your child fall back and leave your breast, because when that happens, that becomes more problematic. So, like I said, let your baby nurse. It's okay for the baby to stay on the breast for 1 hour. Yes, the baby wants to keep sucking. The more your baby keeps sucking, it's sending signal to your brain. Do better. Ogbeni, do better. I need milk. The more, keep doing that. And if your baby gets to sleep and then you put your baby down, that is where the place of expressing or breast pump comes in. I shared my picture of my breast pump. It was a lot of people. I saw there's no so much argument on that like yesterday. Because a lot of people, because I just said, yes, it's possible. It was okay for a lot of people to counter it. But I had to share picture from part of my, posts, some of the past, pictures that I had of breast milk. You can have extra. you can supply enough. There are people that they are so grateful. I mean, it's so easy for them. They produce milk like straight away. But like I said, what's going on with my network? Okay, so there are some that it's easy. It's so easy, I mean, for them. But there are some you have to work it out. With my twin, I had to work. I had to keep alarm. I had alarm on my phone. I do not let 3 hours go without me pumping. I was pumping. That's the next point. Express, because a lot of people, you may not be able to get pump. I got my pump was electric. It was double breasted. I got a nursing bra. I had to get that, the pumping bra. So I could just hang it. I don't have to hold to, pumping to myself. I got a bra. So it holds it in place. I put the machine. I'm stuck to. I have to pump. Every time I nurse my babies, I really used one of them so much than the other, because there was one that was in the NICU. I didn't want to stress him more than the other. So I had to use the one that was, guy, you are stronger. So me and you have to do this job. So I put him to breast. I make sure he drinks. And whenever he's about to go crazy, madam, you're giving me an empty breast, or this milk is not enough, then I give the formula. You heard me right. I gave formula. For the first week up to into the second week, I gave formula. In the hospital, they had donor breast milk, so I wasn't giving formula. But when I left the hospital after 1 week, the first 3-4 days, it was formula. I had to give them formula as they get going. So you have to work. Pump. If you don't have a breast pump, you can get manual breast pump. I got manual breast pump while I was still back in Nigeria. And it does the job. I will express. I'll leave it with my mother-in-law. It's in the fridge. Some are in the fridge. The one is going to use in the immediate. Some other ones were in the freezer that I just used. That sometimes I had to power the generator to keep the chest freezer going. I was determined to do it. I could. So I will leave it while I go to work. My mother-in-law can feed the baby. And when I'm at work, there's a medium time. There are some times when I have some break. I quickly go, I pump. I have it in my cooler bag, and I put it back in the fridge when I get home. Because if you go, the longer time you go and you don't pump, your supply begins to reduce. Because breastfeeding, like I say, is a demand and supply thing. A demand and a supply. The more you keep demanding on your body, the more it will produce. The more you keep demanding on the body, the more it will produce. So when your babies are done nursing, take some extra time, 15-20 minutes. Still keep expressing. Express. If you don't have a breast pump, express. You are telling your brain, do better. Supply more. Keep expressing or get a breast pump. Pump. You may not get anything. If I showed you when I started pumping, there was nothing. But the tiny colostrum that I saw, I know, and then that tiny thing, some would say nothing is coming out, it's just something small, sticky. That thing is so rich, The way that thing is rich in every good things of life. Don't throw it away. It won't look like milk. Sometimes it looks oily. That's colostrum. That thing is super rich. Don't try to throw it away. Your baby needs it. It was so small when I started pumping. Sometimes I didn't get anything. Sometimes after pumping, I feel like crying. Sometimes I literally cried because there was nothing coming out. My effort was looking like nothing was happening. But I knew I kept it. I was in a group that helped me. I was in a group of moms that were doing that had twin, and they had to do that. Some of them would talk about how they did it, and that kept me going. So that kept me going. I had to do it. So you can do it. Like I said, from what I've said, it doesn't look like it was easy. There were times I almost burned out. I had alarm. I was religious about it. 3 hours must not go by without me pumping. I put baby to breast, or then when they are done, I pump again. I was telling my brain, produce. But when the breast milk came in, I was better for it. I was supplying. In fact, I became an oversupplier. I would have donated. I still have some breast milk, and the unfortunate things I have to throw it away. There's COVID-19 now. There's so many tests more you have to do and everything. I'm not able to give out some of the breast milk. I had enough. I had some in the chest freezer. I had enough to give them. I was producing enough from the breast milk. It paid off in the end. I didn't need to. Then I had to taper myself off. I was no longer pumping. I just put them. I'd mastered the heart. I just crossed my leg, the posture of the twin mom, and then you nurse both of them, turn them, nurse them. Do that. It was easy. I was able to gloss through and regulate my supply. And then another thing a lot of people are going to tell you about, I've mentioned nurse pump. There's also something we call power pumping. Power pumping means you're pumping for 1 hour. Not like 1 hour on a stretch. I'm going to post what it looks like to do a power pumping. The power pumping is meant to simulate cluster feeding. There are times when your baby begins to grow and then they need to feed more. You must have noticed it will come a time where your baby just wants to eat and eat and eat. They look like they are not getting enough. You want to simulate, you want to trick your baby, you want to trick your brain into thinking your baby needs to grow, cluster feeding. So you pump for first 20 minutes, then you rest 10 minutes, you pump another 10 minutes, you rest for 10 minutes, then you pump another 10 minutes, and that's the end. If you add everything up together, you're going to see that it's going to be up to an hour. So that is what power pumping does. I did that too. I do at least 1 power pumping in a day while I continued the rest. I pump, and also don't stop pumping. Pump at night. Prolactin is highest at night, but that is when we are all tired. As a nursing mom, as a mother of new baby, you're tired, but that night is when it's actually high. So put your baby to breast at night. Don't say, I cannot express. God knows, I can't express this night. I was on alarm. I will make sure I was on alarm. Sometimes I will tell my husband, if I don't wake up, wake me up. Sometimes he will deliberately not wake me up because you probably can see that I'm so exhausted. This woman is probably not going to, maybe she's going to collapse on him. Sometimes it will end up not waking me up. But I was that determined. I wanted to do it. I was determined to do it, and I did it. So it is possible. It does not mean it didn't fall on my lap, like I just mentioned to you. It wasn't like I had it easy. It was easier with me with my first child. Breast milk was coming even before the baby came. But with this, when I needed it most, it didn't show up. Now there are some other things people believe may help with lactation. But the one that is non-arguable, all over the world, everybody knows, even whether you bring pregnant or not, water. Water. Yes, and I mean water. Let me take a little. You can never have more than enough. You cannot overdose on it, except you have medical conditions. Of which, if you have that kind of medical condition, you don't have business trying breastfeeding. But if you're normal, you're fine, your BP is being controlled, you're okay, drink water. You drink, like we literally will tell you, keep drinking as if you want to drown in water. Never catch yourself thirsty. Water, water, water. Keep drinking. Keep drinking. Don't go on fizzy drink. That's what a lot of people make mistake on. You drink junk. You take Coke. These things, they will fool you up with because they are carbonated. You get filled up on time, so you don't get to drink water. Stay away from those things. Drink water. Any form of water, please. Don't let anybody tell you don't drink cold water after having child. Only drink hot water. Some people can't take hot water for so long. Any form of water, whether it's high, so if it is cold or it is warm, whichever water you're able to take. Water, water, water. Keep taking. Keep taking. Water. Keep taking as if you want to drown yourself. Because the truth is, you cannot afford dehydration. Your body needs water to produce breast milk. I told you breast milk is majorly water. Water, water. I cannot emphasize that. Water. So that is easy enough. Drink water. And it does not have to be ever water. I told some people because the money may be what is turning them away. Drink pure water. I mean, we grew up in Africa. We have some form of immunity against these common stuffs. Drink pure water, you're going to be fine. I'm not saying give pure water to your baby. You can give your baby the Eva water or some of the distilled water. But for you, I mean, we already we grew up with some of these bacteria, we rolled in them. We can handle it. Drink water. You just need water, water, water. Then some will tell you about supplements. There are some supplements that has been propounded. Personally, none worked for me. But I'm not going to lowball them. Some people swear by them that it works for them. And that is, some will tell you about fenugreek. I still have that. I still have it. I still have some of the fenugreek. It's still so many. It didn't work for me. I took it. This is fenugreek. I took it. Some swear by it that it does work for them. That it does work. Fenugreek, a lot of people believe that. Some will say they take the actual herb. Some believe when you take it. I forgot the tablet. I got this from Amazon or so. It didn't work for me, really. But I'm not going to lowball them. Some people swear by it. So you may want to try it if it works for you. God help you. Some also have some tea. They will tell you, I got it. I still have them from like over a year. I'm looking for who to give it to. Definitely, I'm maybe in my neighborhood. I'm going to put it on a buy nothing group. So any mother that needs it, that believes in it, can use it. Some will tell you, get a mother's milk, they help. That's just to tell you how I was also trying. It's a kind of a milk. It helps. It's herb. Some believe it works for them. Some swear by it. Like I said again, it did not work for me. But I'm not going to lowball them. It is safe, because it's safe. So I just don't want to knock them off. But it did not work for me. So what worked for me? Water. I kept our water and I kept pumping. And my babies, they were with me. One was always on my chest, at least. One was always be. The other was with my husband. Thank God for his paternity leave. So we are both together. We're able to do that and wade through it. We had that. So you had your baby with you. That worked for me. And another thing people mention is oatmeal. I ate oatmeal. Maybe that worked. Because the truth is, I was literally living on oatmeal. I I kept eating oats. I kept eating oats because the truth is, well, we just had a new baby, so there was really no chance to really cook so much. We order foods. I will order food, they will bring food, some before, but in the morning, when I need to eat early in the morning, I have to take oats. I take oats not less than, sometimes I take oats like 5 times a day. And then that's the thing, a lot of people will tell you, you're going to add weight. The first few times, I didn't notice, I don't think I added weight anyway, but I wasn't losing weight either. I haven't seen myself lost weight because you were always eating. If you're going to nurse, if you're going to be doing what I'm asking, what you're going to be doing, if you're going to be feeding babies, you're a mother of multiple like I was doing, definitely you're going to be hungry. You're going to keep eating. Sometimes you're going to eat up to 8 times a day. Yeah, I said that. Sometimes I just eating. I'm always eating, like eating. I ate oats. I was binging on oats a lot. Oats is good for you. It has very good carbs, so you're going to pass out. And then I was taking it with milk. Milk has calcium, and so you need the calcium you need in your bone and you need in your milk and all of that. So it was such a good fruit, a good source of iron. It will replace any blood loss and you have lost in labor and all of that. I did lose some blood during my delivery. So oats, I kept taking oats. A lot of them swear by it, and I did take oats. And I'm not going to use the word because, like I said, I'm talking as using science, but I noticed that was one thing I kept doing because, well, I was eating it as food, So, and then I had my breast milk come. So whether to tie it to oats, I don't know. But I took oats and it worked. Some people would talk about lactation cookies. I have this too. I really never had time to prepare it. So it's just here. So I'm not going to swear by it. I didn't use it, so I don't know if it worked. So some people say it works for them. Some would say it is, but I didn't use it, but I'm lactating. So like I said, there are some things that really do work, that are proven. Water. As though you want to drown in it, drink water. Some will tell you about oats. It does work. Please take it. Then back at home, a lot of people will tell you to take palm wine. I'm never going to endorse it because palm wine is alcoholic. You will pass it from your breast milk and you give it to your baby. So I'm never going to endorse that. Drink water. Some will talk about pap. Pap is very good. Like I just said, it's just like oats. Pap is, it's gotten from either millet or corn. They are very good source of fiber. They are going to contain so many things. It's going to have some carbohydrates. It's going to have protein. It does not kill. It does not hurt anybody. Why not fortify it with milk and drink it if it works? Drink it. And then we really don't do research so much, in Africa. So we're not able to prove these things. If we had put our research into it, we may have found if truly there's a difference between those who take pap and those who don't take pap. That's what science does. It tries to compare fact and data and come up with, a conclusion and authoritative stand on things. So some sworn by pap that it does work, but it does not hurt. I just toned down palm wine. I just toned down because it's alcoholic and it is not okay to take that. But pap does not wrong anybody. So why not? Take it. It is a good source of water. Pap is usually watery, so it will help your bowel. You're going to be getting what you need. You're going to be having water. So take pap, take it. But like I said, just to recap now, the most important thing is what? Put your baby, be determined. Surround your people with people that are going to encourage you. Be determined, I want to do it. Do you really want to do it? Determine you want to do it. Get people that are going to cheer you on. Have your cheerleaders around. It's going to be tough, but you need people that will. People that are saying, please, I need a doctor. I'm not marketing for anybody, like I told you. It was what I tried to use. I told you those that work for me, those I don't know if they worked or they don't. Because for this, the reason why I believe this did not work, I have them, it was a pack. It was packed. I have taken more than 2 or 3 of them. If you wanted to walk, you should have walked. I don't drink tea tired, walk. So it's not. I can't promote that. This, I was taking it until I was tired. I was taking prenatal. I was taking everything. I hate to swallow medication. I hate it. So I can't be taking you and taking drug and I'm not seeing the effect. So I dumped it. Maybe I was not patient enough to see it work. So that's why I said some people swear by it, but they didn't work for me. Maybe I wasn't patient with them. So none. Some talk about lactation cookie. This is it. This is the only one I got and it is still unopened. I never got time. I never had time to cook it because I was having to deal with 2 babies. So there was no time to be making cake or making cookies. So I just talked about that. But I'm trying to do a recap. The most important thing, water. Be determined you want to do it, then start drinking water. Put your baby to chest. Put your baby to yourself. Skin to skin. There's a way I mean, science is still going all around it. Just like the way kangaroo care is also being found, around, things are being studied around it. Your baby being on your skin, there's something it does to your brain. It helps your baby release more milk. Then put your baby to breast all the time. Before you offer your baby any other supplements, before you offer them donor breast milk, before you offer them any formula or any other thing, let them nurse. They are the best pumping machine in the world. Pump, pump, pump. Let them suck, suck, suck. Then when they start going iggy haga, then you can compensate them and give them formula. So they don't have to lose weight and go hypoglycemic. Let your baby nurse. Your baby is the best. I'm telling you. Always put your baby. Don't count on pumping machine. Let your baby do the nursing, the most and bulk of the nursing. Then that comes to pumping. Pump, pump, pump. Every time my baby finish nursing, I now start pumping. I was literally living in pumping bra. I was there. I wash bottle. That was all my life was looking around after I just had my baby. So pump, pump, pump. You can do power pumping. I said power pumping is to mimic cluster feeding. Cluster feeding. You want to pump for 20 minutes, rest for 10 minutes, pump for 10 minutes, rest 10 minutes, pump for 10 minutes. You're just trying to mimic your baby sucking. That's what pumping is supposed to do. It's trying to mimic sucking. It's mimicking, it's stimulating your nipple to make your brain think your baby is sucking. That's what you're trying to do with breast pumping. So keep pumping, pump, pump, pump. Then you can take supplements that are being, if you can't prove anything that is safe in them, don't take them. I just showed you some. I don't know. But oatmeal, I tend to want to vouch for them because it's good meal, it is good food, has iron in it, has a lot of things. Take oatmeal. Take it. We have our readily available pap. It does not hurt anybody. Pap is good for your health. So why not take it? Take it, put milk. Don't just take bland pap. Put milk, fortify it, put crayfish, everything. If that's what you want to do, take it. Water. You can never overemphasize that. So that is what I have to say about breastfeeding. So it requires a lot of determination from you. It requires you to do a lot. So I'll be open to questions now. And then, so some of the questions may remind me and some things that I left out. So hopefully that does. There's a beautiful question earlier. The person said, I hope I see it. Someone said regular pumping gave me some boo-boo in my breast. I don't know what that meant. So people, when you oversupply, sometimes when you begin to pump and pump and pump, sometimes I begin to oversupply. Like I said, it came to a time I was oversupplying. I was producing more than my boys could take. So that I had to start saving. I had to buy stuff to start, putting it. I had, some of them are still in my chest freezer. I had to start saving them up. But one of the things I started doing is I was pumping less. I don't pump. It's okay for you to leave some in the breast. So, because if you don't take some out, your body is not going to produce more. So I start lowering on how I pump. I only do that sometimes I don't wait until it starts getting engorged and it becomes painful. So you start lowering, you're now beginning to recalibrate your brain. Okay, guy, you can slow down. We don't need so much again. Like we can slow down now. Let's start pressing brake. Don't just keep racing. So you can now start using your baby. Sometimes don't only nurse with your baby. You won't pump. So you now begin to tell your body, well, it was gra I was doing initially. We don't really need that much. Calm down, brain. Calm down, brain. Calm down. We don't really need so much milk. You now begin to reduce how much you are, But like I said, the window of opportunity when you have so much, the high level of prolactin and oxytocin, those first 3 weeks, let me give the windows to first 1 month. That is your window of opportunity. Take that time. Do what you have to do. Get help. Let people from village help you. Wash the plate, cook, do everything. You just want to pump. You just want to nurse and nurse and nurse, pump, 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 and sleep. That's all you should do. Forget about baby's clothes dirty. Let someone else do that. Forget about food. Let someone else cook it. Whether the food is sweet or not, as long as the food is nutritious, just eat. That is all you want. So that you can focus on your nursing the baby and sleeping. Nurse, pump, sleep. Nurse, pump, sleep. Someone else should be washing the bottle. Tell them to wash bottle because that's one of the fears of bottle. If you don't wash every part, the baby may be predisposed to germs, taking in germs. And that's some other place where the superiority of nursing, breastfeeding comes in. You don't have to wash bottle. You're not afraid of bacteria or anything. Forget about some little bacteria on your nipple. That's fine. The baby can use it to build immunity too. But unlike when, bacteria is sitting in a bottle, the baby can get infected. Someone said, what if someone falls pregnant while nursing? But it is something that we really don't want. That's why we encourage you to get contraceptive. But then, these are one of the things that it does happen. Though breastfeeding itself provides some form of contraception, And that has to do with those that are doing exclusive. If you're actually someone that you're exclusively breastfeeding, there's a likelihood that your prolactin is super high. And because the prolactin is high, it likely you will not ovulate. That's the reason why anyone that has hyperprolactinemia, they likely are not ovulating. So you likely may not be ovulating, even if you have your menstruation. Some will have their menstruation back. Does not necessarily mean you are ovulating. But why some will not even have it at all. For me, it took such a while, almost a year, before I had it. And I'm so happy. I'm not a fan of menses to start with. So that bought me, you just save up money for pads. You get that. All right. So it's a form of contraceptive in itself. But I didn't count on that because don't forget it. Your body can play pranks on you. So now let's say something happened and you have gotten pregnant. And your baby is still so small, it's still so young. Some people see a baby that are less than 5 months and everything. The truth is you can still continue breastfeeding. But man, it's a lot of work. Yes, it's a lot of work. Because now you have to eat to supply to make breast milk and also the demand of pregnancy. So you really need to feed. You really need to feed well. Some will tell you outrightly stop. Not because it is harmful to the baby. That's it. No, that's a lie. The fact that if you're pregnant and you're breastfeeding, some will say you are sucking the blood of the new baby or all sort of meat. No, but because you may not be able to meet up with the demand. There's a demand when you're breastfeeding, especially if you're still exclusively breastfeeding, you are doing like 500 calories. Do you know what it takes for you to be able to burn 500 calories? Sometimes when I'm doing high intensity exercise, sometimes after I'm almost dead, like I've been exercising for 45 minutes, you see your watch will tell you I've just burned 300 and I'm like, what? But you know what? Breastfeeding takes 500 calories a day, like that. Cheap, fast, easy one. You lose weight easily. The first 1-2 months, some people may add weight because the body is still trying to, what's going on here? Your hormones is just still going iggy-haga. You may put on some weight. But as you continue, you lose the weight. You lose the weight from breastfeeding. If you're not exclusive, if you are breastfeeding multiple, man, you need like, sometimes you are burning like 1,000, 900, 800 calories to 1,000. You're making milk for 2 guys or 3 or 4. Geez, you're going to be losing weight fast. In fact, if you don't eat so well, that's a lot of things. You have to eat. Even though you're going to, the fact that some people say I'm saving money, it's not like all time saving. You have to be eating well. You have to be feeding well so that you can produce balanced nutrition for your baby. You can't be looking like Broom or someone that is like a zombie. And no, you have to eat well. You need to eat well. The money you are saving is that at least you're not buying as much, you're not spending as much on formula, but does not mean you're not going to spend anything at all because you're going to be eating like a superhuman. So eat healthy so that you can produce healthy for your baby. Now you're pregnant, you have to take care. Your body demands for pregnancy, and there's also a demand of lactation. You can continue that. You can still nurse your child. The truth is, studies have gone so much that sometimes people have discovered they have put 2 different babies, people that gave birth to baby along the line. They had their babies. The person gave birth. I want a child that was 11 months. The other one is a newborn. They dedicated a breast to different babies. Let's say she was giving the 11-month-old baby this breast. She started to be giving this one to the newborn. And whenever she expresses breast milk from there, you discover that the breast milk in both breasts, that comes out from the breast, they are different. Your body knows. The body is making milk for this 11 months. The milk it's making for these 11 months is different from the milk it is making for the newborn. The breast milk is that dynamic. Once your baby starts sucking directly from you, the saliva of your child, I forgot that point too. Once you put your baby to breast, it is usually believed that that's why I said some of the superiority with nursing a child directly. The saliva of your child mixing up with your nipple, your body taking up that. Sometimes it is believed that your body is able to discover if something is wrong with your child. Sometimes the baby has infection, a viral infection. The baby sucking on your nipple, some of the virus in that child, maybe the rhinovirus, whatever is causing the virus in the child, your body's sensing that virus. Because you are grown up, you may have antibodies to it. You likely have antibody to it. You make antibody in your breast milk and you can pass it to that child. So you help your baby fight that infection. Just by your baby's saliva coming in contact with your nipple, your body sensing, this baby, I think your baby is fighting something. Let's make soldiers for this guy. You make it in your breast milk and you give it to the child. That is somehow you make your child recover from illnesses. That's why when your child is sick, you are not asked to reduce breast milk. Instead, feed them breast milk more. Your body is going to make antibodies for them to fight their infections that they are going through. So if you're nursing, you can continue nursing the child. But usually sometimes it is advised that you stop in your 3rd trimester. Because, like I said, when you nurse, there's the release of oxytocin. And oxytocin is an hormone that causes contraction. So that you don't go into preterm contraction, because sometimes if you're nursing, sometimes if you're nursing, you may feel your womb contracting. A lot of women know that. So you don't go, it doesn't also tip you into contraction. Some may ask you to stop. Some will tell you to keep going higher, but the demand may be so much, because in third trimester, that's when your baby will be adding so much weight. Your baby needs to gather so much. It needs a lot from you. The demand of breastfeeding and pregnancy may be so much. So if you're in your third trimester, you can stop. But for the first 6 months, why not? You can give your child that. You can keep nursing, and you keep eating too. You can keep eating. Eat like what I don't know. So be balanced. Okay, someone says, okay, thank you, okay. You say you're doing a good job. I'm learning from my daughter and daughter-in-law. Yes, that's something about the ATG. You may not be the one that needs it. Let someone else pass down the knowledge. Let the knowledge you have, let it benefit someone else. That is what ATG is about. Only mention oats, water, and pap. How about tea like Milo drink? They contain, when you prepare your Milo and drink, what is, now waiting plenty there, now water. So take it, then your Milo, your tea, they've been fortified. They've got some of from the cocoa and everything. Some of them have been fortified with vitamins and everything. Take them. The most things that is the foundation of them is that they have water. So take them. They have vitamins they'll provide for you. Take them. Those are good. They're going to supply what you need. So, but you know, they have their business like water. So you get to drink more water. So they are okay. So I'm trying to look. Please, my baby is almost 3 months. Then I added formula use and his stooling increase. Do I need to stop or change the formula? Your child may be reacting to that formula. This is one of the things you do if you're introducing formula or you're giving your child a formula. You may need to get a sample. Unlike in Nigeria, you don't get to have sample. Over here, sometimes you can request from the company, I want sample. See, if I'm going to be giving my child this thing, I need sample, let me test if my baby will like it. And most companies will they'll give you samples, they will send you coupons because they are trying to buy you over, because they're about to chop your money. They will give you a coupon. If you buy our formula, we give you $3 off, and all of that. I got so much of those coupons. I don't know wherever they got my meal, maybe from internet. I started seeing coupons all over. Those that want me to buy their diaper, everybody giving me coupon because they want to chop my money. Now I have 2 babies. So I'm going to be needing so many diapers. I'm going to be needing so much formula. God did not allow them. I didn't need formula. So you can request for that. Try it. If your child does not take it, it's got your baby is stooling like you're doing, so you need to change it. Change to something else. Your baby may not be tolerating that formula. My baby sleeps for a long period during the day. Can I carry him and breastfeed him while sleeping, or allow him to wake up on his own before breastfeeding? You can decide to put your baby to breast. Sometimes when you put your baby, when they begin to sense the nipple, it will wake them up. Put the baby around their mouth. Sometimes when you begin to rub the baby around their mouth, then they start wanting to suck. You can do that. You may wake them up, but not like you wake them. The doctor says you should nurse. No, don't do that. You don't want to. Don't do that. That can even have your shaking baby syndrome. So you don't do that. If a baby sleep, if you're putting the breast around their mouth, stroke their mouth, they may take it. Some of them will open their mouth. It looks like something is happening around there. They'll take the breast. But if they're still sleeping, let them be. Doc, one of my twins is on exclusive breastfeeding, but she's not as weighty as her twin sister who is on mixed feeding. I just told you that. But her weight isn't going down either. But she's healthy. She also poos often, and the poo is very soft. Yes. You just describe babies on exclusive. Babies on exclusive breastfeeding, they may not be as big as other babies. Because the truth is, most formulas, they will also be cow-based, cow milk-based, and that contains more fat. So babies on formula, they may be bigger, and bigger does not necessarily mean healthier. Like I've just said, from breastfeeding, you are giving your baby more immunoglobulin and the rest. I don't know why one is on breastfeeding and you're mixing the other. I'm sure there has to be a reason. Otherwise, you should start concentrating to give the other one, breast milk too. Give them, if you're able to supply enough, why not? Don't make one disadvantage than the other. So babies that are on breastfeeding, because he's sucking, he's exercising the mouth. I told you, if you join me quite from the beginning, babies that are on exclusive, they are sucking, their mouth, try to talk. Like now, I've been talking for a while. My mouth goes to the pain me. It's exercise. You're exercising your buccinator muscle, your masseter, everything. Your baby is exercising in that form. So they may lose some of the weight even while they are having. And then because of that, breast milk is not all fat. Then, like I said, because you want your baby to get every nutrient in breast milk, allow your baby to suck a breast. Let the breast finish. Let me use that word. Though breast milk never finishes. You let your baby suck a breast until it is very flabby. You will know. Usually the way before you nurse your baby, your breast may be looking round and full. When the baby, they are done with it, the baby will be flabby. The breast will be flabby like Olympus has fallen. It will be, so let them drink both the full milk that has so much of immunoglobulins, has so much of antibodies, has so much of water, and let them take the hind milk. The hind milk has so many fats. If you pump that one, you will see that one is more creamy. It's looking more like all this milk that you see. It looks more like pig milk. That's the hind milk. They have more fat. So if you are just feeding your baby milk, you give milk here, you give milk here, your baby is taking more of water, and then they're leaving the fat behind. No, don't do that to them. Let the baby finish sucking a breast. Let them take both the hind and the milk on that breast. And then if the baby still needs more, then you can alternate to the other one. That is how to go about it. So it's okay if they have that weight disparity. You already set them up for that, because one is on mixed feeding. She's getting work without any job. The baby is not working for it, just getting. And this other person, she's working for her food. So it may actually not be as big as the other, but both are going to be fine. Doctor, how can a pregnant woman handle Braxton Hicks in third trimester? If it's Braxton Hicks like it is, it will not cause you any issue. It will stop on its own. Braxton Hicks should not go on into labor. But if you see it increasing intensity and frequency, then it means you're likely going into labor. And that may be preterm labor. So you go to the hospital, you're going to be given drugs. But one of the things I tell women is that in pregnancy, if you're dehydrated, you're likely going to start contracting. So never catch yourself dehydrated. Some babies on the exclusive don't poo for some days. Is this something to worry about? It is perfectly normal. Everything in breast milk, their body will almost absorb it. So by the time they start getting to their rectum, there is no poop left. So they may take a while. Sometimes baby on exclusive, they save you diaper money too. You see, another way. They may not poop. Sometimes up to 2 weeks. Yeah. 10 to 2 weeks. Sometimes on babies, they don't poop. And it may be normal. So only if it's maybe more than 2 weeks, you can now start getting alarm, or the baby's tummy is beginning to get so big and swollen and distended. Although a baby on exclusive, they don't poop as much as baby on formula, because almost everything in breast milk, their body just loves it. It was customized for their body. The body absorbs almost everything. So only little is left for poop. So someone says, Doc, what about taking yogurt when breastfeeding? Very good. A very good source of calcium, a very good source of milk. So take yogurt. All you need, just eat. Breastfeeding women, the only thing you shouldn't be doing also around your baby is smoking and taking alcohol, because they're going to be passed into your breast milk, or taking drugs without prescription from your doctor, because they may be secreted in breast milk. Otherwise, you're no longer pregnant. Your baby is not inside you. So you're like any other person, really. You can eat your food, whatever, just that you also put into consideration that whatever food you are eating, their flavor may go into your breast milk too, so your baby may not like it. Sometimes maybe you eat garlic, be very sure your breast milk may smell of garlic, and your baby may feel like, what's this, madam? They may not really like it. So you may want to pay attention to that. But you are just like any other person. There is nothing special like, what if I take this, whatever. Whatever you're able to take it, as long as you're not taking alcohol, you're not smoking around your child, or taking drugs, without your doctor giving to you. My baby is 5 months but goes 10 days without pooping. What can I do? I only breastfeed. It's okay. I just answer something like that. It's okay. Babies on exclusive, they really don't poop as much, and you should be happy. That's saving you money for diaper, right? I'm not lactating well, and my baby is 3 months, 2 weeks, and I have tried many things, including oatmeal. My question is, can I still lactate well? Like I said now, if you've started from the beginning with me, I said there's a window of opportunity. It may be more difficult, but not impossible for you now. It may be more difficult, but it's not impossible. What you have to do, like I said, breastfeeding is a demand and supply thing. So get your baby to start putting on the demand. Start putting the baby to breast. Nurse. Express. You just want to start doing the job now. That's the thing. Though you're coming late to the party, but you can still, try. You can still do it. And then if it's not working, still give your formula, please. Don't let your baby die. But it is worth it for you to try during that window of opportunity. Someone says, please, still skin to skin. Must the baby be naked? Yes, it is advised that the baby be naked. That's when it's effective. The baby is naked, but with diaper on, because you don't want your baby to start peeing or pooping all around their body. So with only diapers on them, let the baby be on your chest, and you also, your upper part of your body, you don't put on your clothes. So it is skin to skin. Your upper body is naked in that sense. So put your baby to your chest. The baby is also naked. Put you to chest. Then you can use a blanket, and both of you can just cover each other. Use a very big blanket, and so the baby's black can be covered, and also people are not seeing your breast. So, but skin to skin has to be, yes, the baby has to be covered naked. I introduced formula to my baby when he was 3 months because I wasn't producing well. I tried many methods to produce milk, but none worked. How do I produce more milk next time? What you just need to do is follow everything I've said. It means you likely came late. This has already happened. You're already giving formula. You can still increase your supply. It may be more difficult because you're out of the window of opportunity, but you can still try. But in subsequent pregnancy, this video will still be here. I'm still going to have sessions on this some other time. So you can save it. You can always watch it. Get the knowledge, work on it. Do what has been said in this video. Only oats, water, and pap. How about you? Okay, I think I answered that. Someone say, I think I'm just seeing some questions I've seen. Someone says, thanks a lot. My nipples still hot at 3 months. I have resolved to pumping. Breastfeed for some 10 to 20 minutes and then bottle feed. Hope I'm on track. The truth is, if your nipple hot, it means that your baby is not latching well. Every time your nipple hot, it is because the latch is not right. You may want to watch videos. Go to YouTube, watch videos on that. There's a post. There are posts on latching that is in the group that I posted, but probably if it's just seeing the picture, maybe it doesn't work. You can see videos. They're going to see lactation consultant. They're going to show you how you put your nipple close to the tip of to the tip of your baby's nose, so that your baby gets to open the mouth before you allow them to take in your breast. Because once if they hold the tip of your nipple, it means it is like you're in soup, because they're going to suck on that. They're not going to be getting enough milk. They're not going to be covering your areola where the milk duct is. They won't be getting to squeeze it out. They also will be working. They'll be seeing that their work is not producing enough. They will want to do better. They will keep pushing on your nipple, sucking your nipple. Meanwhile, it's not on the nipple. That's not where the milk is being stored. They need to go to the milk duct and suck around the areola and, suck out. So is a technique you need to know. The technique, watch YouTube videos, lactation consultant, they're going to show you how your baby should latch. Every time that your baby latches and it's painful, you have to just use your pinky finger, slide it between your baby's mouth and your breast, make sure you unlatch them, make them leave, then do it again. You keep doing that, and then if you've had sore nipple or it's cracked nipple, it is believed you should leave breast milk. After you have nursed them, allow breast milk, express on breast milk, rub it on your breast. With my first child, that happened. You just put breast milk. It's believed it's also medicinal with it. It doesn't hurt, so leave it on it. It's believed that the breast milk will help to heal the breast itself. Put lanolin cream, nipple cream. Put it on it so it's not dry. You want to prevent it from drying and cracking. Those are some of the things you do. Please, what can a breastfeeding mom take to help her lactate well? I'm going to assume you just joined in. So please, Scholar Pius, you need to watch this video all over again. Please, doc, my baby weighs 7.8 at 3 months. Hope he's not overweight. He is on exclusive breastfeeding. If your baby is on exclusive breastfeeding, nothing to worry about. Ignore it. What determines the weight of a child, too, the gene also matters. At 3 months, 7.8 may look big, but a lot of things come in play on baby's weight. Your gene. If you are your husband, you are big people. You're big. Don't expect your baby to be small. Or if there are other big people in your family, they are tall guys, they are chubby, your baby may pick up the gene. Part of the gene in your husband or from you, someone in your family. It may be that it runs in your family. Your child may be big. So as long as your child is on it and is eating adequately, baby is feeding on demand. Your baby feeds on demand, how their body needs it. That's when it places the demand on you. So feed baby on demand. Okay, so please, can a breastfeeding mother take cod liver oil capsule? I wouldn't advise it. That's the truth. I mean, just eat healthy. Eat healthy. I used to see a lot of this cod liver capsule, and I don't understand why a lot of people are freaked about it. Breast leakage at 29 weeks, any concern? No, it can happen. No, because also in pregnancy, you have high prolactin. Just that prolactin, they are not allowing the guy to shine yet because progesterone and estrogen, they are like, not on my watch. Madam, go sit down. We are still ruling in this pregnancy. It is after placenta goes up and progesterone and estrogen crashes that prolactin now starts roaming. So you can have some breast leakage, that's fine. Your body is not hurting. You can have some leakage, and your breast milk will come into full force when baby is here. When placenta is out and it detaches, then the guy starts doing his work. Please, my 2-month-old baby stopped sucking my left breast. When I forced him, he would be crying until I changed to the right. What might be the curse? For 3 days now. Are you sure? Have you expressed the breast? Is there something in it? Do you have clogged breast? There may be something. Is there any food you're eating? Though that should actually affect both breasts. So you may have to actually check that breast that your child is, rejecting. But if the child is not taking it for now, you can leave the child. It's taking the right, give the right. After some days, babies can be funny. you can give that breast again, and then he takes it, and you'll be wondering what changed. Why did you leave it at first? So you don't have to first check the breast. Is there something wrong? We don't really have lactation consultant readily available in Nigeria. And I said you check with a lactation consultant, you want to check. But you check the breast. Do you think there's something wrong? Sometimes maybe you have clogged breast. Maybe the child is not getting anything out from there, and the child does not. It knows that every time I use this one, I get more. This breast, anytime you put me to this breast, it's suffer. I'm just suffering, and then the child can reject it. So you may just want to watch, and then you leave it. Let the child take the right. If the child after some days, keep trying. Can I take magnesium while pregnant? Why do you want to take magnesium while you're pregnant? Who prescribed it for you? Doc, please, what's the effect of skin-to-skin breastfeeding? It helps, like I just said, it helps to release oxytocin. And the oxytocin is that let down hormone. It helps the breast milk to get out of the breast, to get let down. So it is, when you do skin to skin, it regulates your baby's temperature or body temperature. It helps to regulate their heartbeat, especially for babies that are premature. It helps them regulate their temperature. It makes both of you bond, and then it helps your breast milk. It makes it it causes that let down. So there are so many benefits to it. Just staying there, feeling cool with your baby enjoying your chest. It's so cool. You said baby on exclusive don't poo, but mine poo on exclusive poo about 2 or 3 times a day. Different strokes for different people. Some babies, they poo more, some don't poo. So if your baby pooed so much, lucky you. I don't want to say unlucky. Why some the babies don't poop? So it is different stroke for different people. Some babies don't poop. Some it takes a while for them to poop. My twin, they were also different. Even though they were the same, they were taking the same stuff. One poops more often than the other, even while they were when they were still on exclusive. So one can take days, while some readily, steadily every day. The guy is always marking register, pooping 2-3 times. While the other one, the guy, sometimes 5 days, no show. But his tummy was not big, it was okay. He's also adding weight and nothing, so I didn't bother. So different stroke can occur. What about a woman that is spotting while pregnant? Always go to your doctor. Go to your doctor. Every spotting in pregnancy should be investigated. Good evening, ma'am. I don't know why my nipples feel so ticklish. Like it happens to me once every month that I stop my husband from touching it because I feel so uncomfortable and makes me laugh so hard. Is it normal? Is it normal? Yeah. I did like you're not pregnant, and sometimes it's funny. Yeah, it's possible when your breast is being stroked. It may be ticklish. There's nothing. You and Oga can laugh about that, and if you both like it to be stroked, do it. If you don't like it, ask him. Tell him what works. Tell him what you allow. It's not an abnormality for you to feel ticklish on your breast. It's not an abnormality. And I haven't given birth before, so okay. Forget about that. The way your body reacts to when your husband suck is not the same way it reacts when your baby suck. They are two different things. Your brain can distinguish that. That's the truth. So the fact that your husband sucks on your breast and is ticklish does not mean when your baby do it, you now put your baby and be thinking, no, they are two different things. If you put your baby to your breast, it's going to be different. It's going to be different. Why you may be doing with your guy? No, that's not the same feeling you're going to get with your baby. They are two different people, and your brain can tell them apart. It knows. This one knows what your guy is doing. This one knows what baby is doing. Your brain is that smart. Doc, please, what's the effect of skin to skin? I think I've answered this question before. Please help. I'm having abnormal bleeding. What's the curse? Your gynecologist will have to know that. I'm not here to examine you. I can't tell what is the curse for it. Hello, doc. Can I continue with my prenatal vitamins even as my baby is 2 months old? Yes. I encourage women to do that. I encourage them to do that. Personally, I still take my prenatal vitamin. Yeah, and I'm over 15 months post-pregnancy now. I take it, even though I try to alternate it, I'm still trying to get the postnatal one, because the truth is the prenatal ones, they have higher iron in them, there are some more things that are in them it was programmed for pregnancy. But the reason why I'm still sticking to mine is because it was prepared based on pregnancy and lactation. So I take it. I've not been so faithful with it like I did when I was in pregnancy, but I still encourage women to take their prenatal vitamins after delivery. Let your body supply your body with those nutrients that you need so that it can be optimal and you can produce good milk. Good evening, doc. Please, how do I boost my milk supply? Amaka, is likely you are just coming in. You have to watch this video all over again. I'm sorry I can't go all over. That is what I've been discussing in over an hour. How to boost your breast milk supply. My left breast is dry and is lopsided. How do I bring it back? I don't understand what you mean by lopsided. Because I'm using just the only the right now. Baby is 2 months plus. What you have to do is to put the baby. See, whatever has to happen with your breast, your baby is your best help. Your baby is your help. You have to put your baby, let your baby do that. put your baby to it. Then if you have some people, one of the common questions people see is retracted nipple. It may be more difficult for this kind of people, but it's possible. For retracted nipple, one of the things we say is start engaging Oga to let Oga start working. You can also start sucking, trying to bring out the nipple. You can also start swinging on the nipple, not like you start doing it painfully, just gently trying to pull out the nipple. Some may be so difficult. Or get a breast pump, try to start, bringing it out. The more you keep doing it, it's going to come out. And then for some that their nipple may be so big, there's some nipple that are super big, that baby's mouth, baby will be feeling like, no, do you want to drown me? If your nipple, maybe the nipple is big and baby can't cope up, or there's something the nipple is, is retracted, is not, their nipple shield that is available now. You can put it, baby will be sucking on that, and as long as the nipple is being taken, the breast milk comes out through that nipple shield to baby. There are so many things that can happen now. So your breast, I don't know what you mean by lopsided. Let your baby suck on your baby is still your best help when it comes to lactation. Someone says, please doc, I'm not breastfeeding, but I have this milky discharge and I exert slight pressure on my breast. What could be the problem? As I haven't given birth, though I gotten pregnant twice. You likely have hyperprolactinemia. That's elevated prolactin level. This hormone that is responsible for breastfeeding, you likely have it high. And if it's high, it may cause anovulation. What we mean that not ovulating, it may make you not ovulate. So you want to check with your doctor, especially if you think you have difficulty getting pregnant. It may be because of that prolactin, you are not. In breastfeeding, how does one curb eating so as not to gain weight, like African mentality? I don't know what you mean by that, gain weight like African. It's okay. So one of the things, like I said, with people is you have to set priorities right. In pregnancy, when you're pregnant, that is not the time for you to be aiming to be a slay mama. Stop comparing yourself with celebrity. Since you're celebrity, some of them live fake lives. They can go under the knife, they can have surgery to look whatever they want to look like. But they come online, you see them looking good. They sell products to you that this is what worked. They lie. That's what they do for a living. They have to sell things to you so that they can stay pregnant. Some people will tell you, my nose is so flat. I want to be looking, I don't want to get so much weight. Pregnancy is not the time to be losing weight. Pregnancy is not the time for you to be looking like you want to look like slay mama. You can't be doing marathon on yourself in pregnancy. Things that you've not been doing before. You've not been exercising before pregnancy. Now you want to go to gym and start running because you're seeing a celebrity doing things that you've not been doing. You're just going to lose your pregnancy and they're not going to be there. They won't even know you existed. You're not going to be suffering in pain. And then if you're also breastfeeding, hormones are at play. Things that your body is still trying to get a hang of what is happening. Like I said, some people, when they are breastfeeding, the first 2-3 months, they will add weight. Because also you are eating. You can't help it. You are putting demand on your body. Your body is also going to trigger your hunger center. Guy, eat. And you're also going to eat. And then the rule with adding weight is if you eat more than you're born, you're going to add weight. So as long as you keep eating, sometimes you begin to lose weight. But as you keep going, you're going to lose that weight. Because I said it in my presentation, breastfeeding just a single child, it takes about 500 calories away from you. 500. It's going to take you almost an hour of intensive exercise to burn that. So breastfeeding is just a shortcut like that. Now imagine if you're doing it for twin or triplets. That's like 1,000 or 1,012, 1,005 you are burning. If you don't eat enough to cover for that, you may actually even disappear. So even if you're eating, like me, I was already back in my shape by my 3rd, 4th month. I was back to my pre-pregnancy state. At first 2 months, I was still, because another thing is the reason why a lot of people are adding weight is not because of the food you're eating. You're likely going to add weight if you don't get enough sleep, of which that is almost like the reality of newborn mamas. If you just give birth, sleep is far away from you because you have to feed babies almost all the time. You have to nurse at night too, your sleep. And anyone that is not getting enough sleep, you're going to eat more. That is it. That's how your body is going to interpret it. You're not making, your digestive system is going to be messed up. You're going to be eating more and all of that. So there's so many things that may account for your weight, not really the food you're eating and not because you're exclusively breastfeeding. And then where that now comes to the mentality thing is, that is if you decide to listen. If you decide to listen, nobody gets to have a talk. If they are not ready, if they don't have anything to contribute, they don't have a say to tell you how your body looks because you're doing what is right for your child. You do what is right for your child. People are going to, whether you're slim or not, people are going to say things. So you turn your deaf ears at them. Set the priorities right. Please, doctor, my baby is 3 months old and is on mixed feeding, but she suddenly stopped taking the formula yesterday. How can I increase my breast milk supply? Now you have to watch this video all over again. That is what I've been saying over an hour. How to increase your breast supply. Because your baby is now 3 months, like I said, it may be more difficult increasing your breast supply, but it is possible. You just have to be more consistent. You have to let your baby suck and suck and suck more. You have to express, or pump. Put a demand on your brain. There's a window of opportunity. Like I said, the first 1 month after delivery, the placenta is out. That's why for some women, if you have retained placenta, you may not lactate very well because placenta is still there. Your body is still feeling like baby is still going on. So some people, they may discover that they are bleeding and they are not lactating well. Sometimes if for any reason, you just discover that despite all you're doing, you're not lactating well. Your doctor may want to check, have ultrasound and check your womb. Are they sure that there's no remain of any placenta there? Because if you still have retained placenta, you may not lactate well. Because of that, placenta leaving the body, it helps prolactin go higher and do its job. Oxytocin also begins to do good. So you may not be in that window of opportunity. It may be more difficult for you, but it is not impossible. Doc, please, one of my breasts doesn't flow well, and I'm exclusively pumping because my twin doesn't suck. It was flowing well initially, but now it's not. What do I do? If your supply is beginning to tank, it's likely you slow down at a point. Breastfeeding is a demand and supply thing. If you slow down your pumping at a point in time, your body is going to also slow down its supply. So you likely slow it down at a point. So you also have to just increase it. And if it's just particular to a breast, why are your twin? I'm not interested in why your twin doesn't suck. It's like maybe because you introduced bottles to them early and then they got nipple confused and they don't want to take your breast anymore. You can still try to put them in the breast milk. These babies, they are the best pumping machine in the world. Aside the fact that when you put them to breast, there's the advantage when you put them to breast, there's saliva on your nipple, stimulating your body making the appropriate antibodies for them. They get to send signal. Before that they're your child, the video you're on your skin, there's a way your body gets to, respond to them better than when it responds to a pumping machine. I just mentioned what pumping machine does. It does its job. And you can see in the post I did put up today, I was using a pumping machine that I pumped. I had so much. I had to use that. Every time after my baby suck, I had to pump. I was just telling my brain, produce. There are many people here. Produce. And the body's going to respond. So increase your demand on the breast and you're going to increase your supply. Please, doc, does high blood pressure affect breast milk production? Because I suffered high blood pressure after I put to bed in my subsequent pregnancies and my milk production dropped. Well, if your blood pressure is not well controlled, it may contribute to it. When I had my twin, I wasn't hypertensive in my pregnancy. It was uneventful. The pregnancy was all cool. But after I delivered, maybe it was due to the sleep. Maybe it was due to the lack of sleep because I had C-section. I was in pain. I hate C-section. But I had to do it to keep my babies alive. Yes, and it's necessary. I was still in pain. I was trying to recover. I was not getting enough sleep. There was no help. And I just went when they were trying to remove my stitch and everything, and discovered I had the high blood pressure. Remember, I was also still not lactating well. So maybe the blood pressure, yes, it may, because one of the things that is causing your blood pressure also, you may not be sleeping well. Like I just told you, you may not be sleeping well, maybe contributing to your blood pressure. And I also had fluid retention. My legs were swollen. It was looking like a trunk, like the trunk of a tree. So I had to be given. It was now my doctor and the lactation consultant, they had to talk, and they had to be in the middle too. What do I want? The high blood pressure, I had to tell them, man, I don't want to die first. I can't keep the high blood pressure. It's when I'm alive, I'm going to be able to produce. Because the lactation consultants are thinking, if you're giving this drug, a furosemide, it's going to make me lose water in my body and I may not be able to lactate. But if I leave the water, it may also be feeding my blood pressure. I have to control the blood pressure first. But I kept doing that and I kept drinking and I still made it. So your blood pressure may actually curse it for you not to make I'm sorry, there's a distraction. So blood pressure may also cause it, but the source of the blood pressure itself, maybe you're not getting enough sleep or rest, and it may contribute. Someone said I did hormone profile and my prolactin is high, and I've taken medication on that. And later I went back for checkup, and the result says it's okay. But I still notice breast discharge on one breast. Stop pressing it. Because it's just like you're also telling your body to do better. Every time you press your breast, you're expressing it. Your brain is going to sense it as to do more. So you may increase it. If the prolactin is okay and you're trying to get pregnant, what you need to do now is to start meeting with Oga. Forget ovulation thing. Just meet adequately, because you actually won't know when you're ovulating. If your prolactin has been controlled and brought under has been brought under, control. Just have your adequate sex. You don't know when you're going to ovulate, but make sure that there's actually good quality sperm. Be sure that the sperm is okay too. Good quality sperm, always moving around to get you pregnant. Doctor, how do one get the nipples ready before delivery? Nothing special you need to do. Just clean it. Clean normally. Some will say clean with coconut oil, clean with anything so that you don't dry it. Don't go on. Some people will say they go to under the shower, they start scrubbing because there are things. No, you don't need to do that. You're going to hurt yourself. You can clean with oil, just clean gently with soap and water, and just keep it done. For you not to be dry, make sure you moisturize, and that's just what you need. And more question. My nipples still hurt. I'm seeing some questions I think I've answered before. My baby is 5 months but goes 10 days without pooping. What can I do? I only breastfeed. Your baby not pooping for 10 days is fine. You talked about fluid retention. If it starts by 4 months into pregnancy, is it normal? You may have fluid retention. Accumulating fluid in pregnancy is normal. And that normal, let me put a caveat. You have to be sure your blood pressure is right. Normally, because you're going to have expansion in your blood volume, you can have fluid retention. That is expected. Olubimi says, Doctor, you didn't answer my question. I'm sorry. I must have missed it. I'm just seeing questions. The way I see them, I answer. You can post it again. I'm not deliberately skipping any question. So you can have fluid retention, but one of the things you have to be sure is that you don't have BP with it, because you're having fluid in your, fluid retention in your legs, your edema. That's what we call it. When you have that fluid, your lower extremities, your doctor is going to check your blood pressure to be sure that you don't have preeclampsia, or you don't have high blood pressure, and that needs to be managed. But normally, fluid volume is going to expand. Your blood volume is going to almost double in pregnancy. That's why your nose is big. Your nose will be swollen. Women are swollen. I was sharing one of my pregnancy picture with women in ANC. They were really laughing because it was really funny. I saw it myself. I couldn't believe that was me. I was bloated. I was so big. My nose was so flat like trumpet. But that's not me now. So that's why I don't put importance on things that are temporary. Look on the long hand. Good evening, Doc. What are the prenatal vitamins? Prenatal vitamins, the most important prenatal vitamins. Prenatal vitamin in pregnancy, number 1 in the first trimester is folic acid. That's why when you say every woman, if you're planning to get pregnant, if you're fertile and you think you're having sex, and because you may get pregnant, that's the truth, even if you're on contraceptive, stuffs happen, be on folic acid. Folic acid, that's the most important, especially in first trimester. Then from your second trimester onward, then some may give you folic acid, some may discontinue it, because that first 3 months, those are the most important times when your organs are being formed, the neural tube, is being formed. You want to be sure that baby is, well formed. Then after that, you need iron, because you're going to need your blood supply. You're going to need like I said, your blood volume is going to increase double. You need to make iron. You need iron to make more blood. So you need iron to be supplemented. Some other ones are going to be given by your doctors, vitamin B complex, Some of them is going to help increase your energy, make you eat more food. Vitamin C, you need them for your collagens, you need them for your immunity, and all of that. Your doctor may give you as needed, but there are some that are already combined. Stuff like Pregnant Care, there are some names, different names. Nature Made, Pro Natal, different names brand. Those ones they have already been combined for pregnant women. Just taking that one pill and you're good. Those are prenatal vitamins. So Osman says, Doctor, how does eye sugar level affect the baby? Eye sugar level in pregnancy, I'm going to take it, you're asking for that. Can affect your baby. In fact, it can cause abnormality in babies. Some babies, you find sacral agenesis is almost like exclusively for women that has diabetes in pregnancy. That's when you have that happening in babies. Like there are some congenital abnormalities that may affect babies if the sugar level, the glucose level is not brought under control. So a woman that is being suspected that is having diabetes, you're drinking so much water, it just doesn't seem like you're satiable. You are peeing so much, or you're already diabetic before you got pregnant, or there's a family history of diabetes, or if your weight is more than 90 kg, your doctor will likely want to keep checking you for diabetes to be sure that your glucose is right. Because if it's not controlled, your baby can get so big, and then they may have congenital abnormalities. Then the higher degree, it has been found in women of that age, they just kind of have For some reasons that are also not known, they just have unexplained fetal death. The woman just comes, my baby is not moving, and then you check, the baby is dead. So sugar control, glucose level, it is very, very important. Please, doc, is 100 kg too much for 30 weeks pregnancy? What was your pre-pregnancy weight? That's what's going to matter. What was your BMI? Because that is it. There's a post in the group where I shared, some weight gain, the range of weight gain that is expected for women. If you're someone that you're overweight before you got pregnant, if you're obese before pregnancy, you are expected not to gain so much weight in pregnancy for the health of your baby. But if you're underweight when you got pregnant, you're expected to gain more weight if you want a healthy baby. But if you're normal, there's the weight range too that you want to have. So all of this, you can set the group for weight gain. You can go to see that. Please, can I use folic acid, but I'm not married yet? You can. Every woman, if you're in the reproductive age group, especially if you're having sex, pregnancy can show up. Take folic acid. How can one increase sugar level or make it normal during pregnancy? Go for your prenatal clinic. If you're pregnant, if you're pregnant in ATG, I expect you to be in ATG antenatal, our ATG ANC. We teach a lot of these things. We help you. Some of your symptoms is going to point. Some of the things that these women give as symptoms will be what is going to make me tell them. You have to go to your doctor, ask this question, and then they discover that they have gestational diabetes. So if you're pregnant in ATG, you should be a member of ATG antenatal. Subscribe. Moderators, they posted this link earlier. How to control blood pressure during pregnancy. There are antihypertensives that are safe in pregnancy that are going to be given to you. Come subscribe to our ATG antenatal. We're going to help you in this. After giving birth, how many months will someone stop taking vitamins? I encourage you to keep taking your vitamins as long as you're still breastfeeding. Keep taking it. You may not be so faithful with it like when you were pregnant, but keep giving yourself those vitamins that your baby needs. Can I use folic? Okay, my baby don't want to take his formula, but only wants to suck, and I'm not lactating well. Please, what can I do? Can I still lactate well when my baby is 3 months, 2 weeks? You can still lactate. I've answered your question. It may be more difficult raising your supply now because that window of opportunity is no longer there, but it's going to be more difficult. But you can still do it. What you have to do is keep pumping, express the milk, express. You only just came late to the show, but you can still do it. So once for ATG antenatal is a payment monthly. No, it's a one-time payment, and it covers throughout your pregnancy, throughout your index pregnancy. My baby is not growing as expected. She's 4 months on exclusive, but very slim. Very slim does not mean not healthy. That's a lot of things that people miss out on. If babies on exclusive, they may look tinier than babies on formula. It does not mean they are any less than those babies. Like I said, formula adds so much fat. It is cow milk based. So you may find them babies that take that, they may be more chubby, they may be chubbier. But if you're producing adequate milk, be very sure that you're producing enough milk for your baby and not just having the baby. You may need to increase your breast milk supply. But if you're producing enough, if your baby is slim, it doesn't matter. You yourself, are you big? Because that will matter. I'm not going to expect my baby to be big. I'm of small stature. My husband, he is. My mother-in-law, he is. So they're not so big. It's going to be funny for me to be expecting a big baby. It doesn't just work that way. Doc, when does this window of opportunity close for exclusive breastfeeding? It's not like it's going to close, like close. If you started this presentation with me, I talked about when after birth, the delivery of the placenta, excuse me for the distraction. I'm trying to get. So after the delivery of the placenta is sheared off. It comes off. Because the placenta is a supplier, is the one that produces progesterone and estrogen. That crash in estrogen and progesterone, it now gives leeway to prolactin to increase and start doing its job, and oxytocin too. These ones, they help around delivery. So the first 3 weeks to 4 weeks of delivery, when your prolactin is still going around, hello, who needs me? Hello, who needs me? Hello, who needs me? You can call on the guy. Hey, guy, I need you. Keep pumping. Nurse. You take advantage of that high level and make your body start producing milk. That is what you need to do. That is the window of opportunity I'm talking about. But does not mean your baby, you can no longer establish lactation after that. Emiji. Okay, so how do I increase milk supply? I took some cookies, but it didn't work. Sandra, you need to watch this video all over again. I can't start all over. So I'm taking 2 more questions and that will be it. Doc, I had ectopic pregnancy. Is it possible for the other fallopian tube to be open? There's no way I can tell you that except you do HSG. You have to do HSG. HSG is going to tell you that other tube is open. If it's open, you can still get pregnant with 1 tube. But if it's blocked or it's not functional, sorry, then that leaves you with the option of IVF. All right, so after giving birth, how many months will someone take vitamins? Okay, I think I answered that. All right, so I think that's a question I'm going to be stopping on. Doctor, I was weighing 96 kg and now I'm 21 weeks and 103 kg. Now, is it okay for me? I can't tell. I told you we work with BMI, your pre-pregnancy BMI. If it's okay, then we start watching based on. Then you'll be given, your doctor, you're going to likely work with a nutritionist. They're going to give you, maybe given portion size to eat based on what you have on ground. This woman, if it's obese, we don't want her to gain more than this. So your nutritionist, they will tell you for your portion control, they can give you tiny food to eat. But that's like all you need to have for the calorie, and then that provides the necessary nutrient that you need. You need to work with your doctor and your nutritionist. We work more with your BMI, not just weight. That's important. All right, so I'll be stopping here. There are so many questions more. Hopefully when I come online, I'll be able to take more questions. So thanks to everyone who joined in, who, bringing up your question. I was able to share some of my knowledge, things that worked, things that don't work, things that have been proven to work. With all of this, it is our joy. It is World Breastfeeding Week, and we have to promote because it has been proven to work. And the truth is, if you're not able to do this, if for any reason you're not able to do exclusive, it doesn't make you a bad mom. No, it doesn't. You do your best. If you're not able to pull through, you know that you did what you had to do. So you don't overbeat, don't beat up yourself. If you're pregnant, if you're pregnant, you're in ATG, you should be in ATG antenatal. Not sneaking in, waiting, coming in the inbox. I may not see your message when you need the help. Be on our ATG in ANC. If you want one-on-one consultation with our doctors, definitely you can always, our premium service. Our premium service is there. It is our responsibility to make sure we attend to everyone on our premium service. If you don't want to, you can afford our premium service, you want to meet with other women that are also going to conceive, also on this journey of battling infertility, that's our GTC Telegram platform. Subscribe to that too. You're going to get that benefit. But if you're pregnant in ATG, you should be in ANC. It is something I see. It's one of the basic things. A 5,000 fee for throughout your pregnancy, I don't see it. I don't think it's going to be cheaper than that. It can't get cheaper than that. You get knowledge. I tell the women things that they need to know, the things that work, the things that don't work, harmful practices they shouldn't do. So our ANC, you get your values worth. Watch more than that. You need to, if you're pregnant, you should. You should be in our platform. So when you say, well done, but you didn't answer my question after posing severally, I'm sorry. I must have missed out on your question. And thank you so much for joining me. Thanks to everyone taking your time to learn from me. So you can save this video if you're pregnant, you think you want to do it, you want to practice this, and it's hard for you, think you may have difficulty, come back to this video. I've also had a video like this before. You can watch both. Maybe there are some things I talked about here, I left out in that, and all of that. Learn from them. You'll get it. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye-bye.